Well, it is finally time. We are approaching the supposed best arc in the entire series, the Promised Day. The Promised Day is finally here. What's going on, everybody? My name's Cast. Thank you once again for joining me on another episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This time we're on episode 50. What a journey it's been so far, man. This was the first series I started on my channel, and we are finally on the final day of the series. I know we got 14 episodes left or something, but man, I'm both very excited and very sad. At this point, due to the lack of other series I've done on this channel, my entire viewer base is pretty much purely Fullmetal Alchemist fans, and that is really cool. I hope you guys stick around for the next series we do after this, and don't worry, I've got plenty of very good series lined up. But I just want to thank you once again for joining me along this entire journey. It's really been a ride. I've learned a lot. I've gotten better at doing these videos. I've gotten a little bit better on talking about things. I'm still not that good at all of this, admittedly, but I hope you guys can appreciate it. I'm doing my best, and honestly, I couldn't have picked a better series. I really couldn't have. In the last episode, we had Hohenheim encase Pride in a giant dome of Earth along with Alphonse, so they're sitting in there and having surprisingly wholesome conversations about Miss Bradley and all of that. I don't really know where that's going to go. I don't know if Pride or Alphonse is going to be able to get out for the Promised Day, because I think it would be weird personally. Not that Pride would get out, but I feel like it would be weird if Al didn't get out, considering pretty much the whole plot and premise of the brothers story revolves around Al being there, and I don't think Al is just going to sit inside the Earth Dome with Pride having a chit chat for the rest of the series. But you know, who knows? I guess anything can happen, but I'm expecting Alphonse to rejoin into this sometime. But we also ended the episode with Roy and crew, along with Miss Bradley, being surrounded by some of Central's forces, and they were ordered to shoot everybody except for Roy, which, honestly, I know Father was talking about how they're making a miscalculation by kidnapping Miss Bradley, because in reality, Father doesn't think that Bradley or Salim or anybody cares about Miss Bradley, but as we come to find out, it's not the case. So I don't think it's a foolish plan. I think it is secretly brilliant, whatever Roy's doing. I don't know how it's going to be brilliant yet, but it's going to work out. I think it would be way too optimistic for me to say that Bradley is going to see them trying to kill his wife, and then Bradley's going to have a moment of purity or clarity where he just goes against everything and turns on Central's forces. But who knows? I mean, somebody's got to come save Roy and crew right now. I think it could be probably 3 people. It could either be Bradley himself, which would probably be the most unexpected plot twist of it. It could be Denny, who we saw at the end of, yeah, I guess it was at the end of last episode, right? If I'm getting that right. Yeah, whatever. You know, we saw Denny at the after credit scene. And then also Mei Chang, because we know Mei Chang is still in the capital. She doesn't really know about Roy, but I mean, she's got to come back in somewhere too, so maybe she'll be the one to save them. Either way, I am very much looking forward to getting straight into it. If you would like to see the next episodes right now, they're over on my Patreon. Episode 51 is available on the Soul tier, and episodes far past that, at least a month in advance, I would say, are available on the Ascended tier, along with any other series I am doing. And you can also go follow me on my socials. Primarily my Twitch, my Twitter, and my Instagram would be the best places. I post on all of those, and I stream on Twitch quite often. I don't know if, you know, this is going to go up on YouTube quite a bit of time from the time I'm recording this, but I am considering doing live reactions on my Twitch to potentially longer series, probably more shonen type things that would require way too many videos to be made for it. So I mean, just off the top of my head, Hunter x Hunter, Gintama, those sort of things might be something I can watch on Twitch, because I just haven't seen those series, and they're way too long for a YouTube series, at least the way I do my videos. So be sure to go give me a follow on all of those platforms. I would just appreciate it a lot. All right, Promised Day, here we come. I get the feeling this might be the last time we see this opening. We don't have too many episodes left, and we're starting a whole new arc. Upheaval in Central. Yeah, I didn't buy into these. Yeah. I wonder if it's, it could be Briggs soldiers too? No. Random armed civilians.
Told them to kill everyone except Mustang, so that was a direct order to kill the Führers.
I'm kidding about that, by the way. I assume these are,
Does this mean
I wonder if that's,
my husband,
some of Roy's subordinates.
has our country betrayed him? Or is it
Oh.
my husband chosen to abandon me?
Oh, well, I mean, at least she's thinking of that as a possibility.
I promise that we'll protect your life. And once the dust
Good
is
answer.
settled, you can be the one to tell our country that we were always on their side.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I mean, that helps his rise to the top as well, you know?
We're sparing your lives, soldier. Be glad that we're not from Briggs. This would be a kill shot.
Oh! Damn. He's gonna be out of it for a little bit.
Been a while.
Yeah, good work.
In a while. So
Especially Grumman.
it is one of his subordinates, maybe.
They sent in a whole battalion. You sure are popular, Colonel.
I like to think so.
He's got his alchemy, so... Oh, yeah. The fact that he can, like, trace it is insane. I don't know how that works.
They've only got 5 men.
Got Handsome
Numbers
Squidward
have
back
increased.
at
We
it.
appear to have a full platoon of soldiers now, sir.
How many have we lost so far?
We have 59 men injured, 0 casualties.
0.
They're doing it humanely. Elric style.
Damn it! Are you okay? Yeah, I think so. So this flame alchemist we're up against. I thought he was supposed to be some big war hero in Ishbal.
Yeah, he doesn't really seem to live up to his legend, does he?
Yeah, he's
Good
just
point.
sparing
All
you.
of his explosions have been pretty tame.
Hey, keep talking.
Jeff, parking! Damn, that blew my
I don't
ears
know.
off.
Yeah.
What's the toll? 5 wounded, but none dead.
Lucky you aren't getting your arms blown off.
So far.
Is it dawning on you that maybe he's letting you go on purpose?
They've got the hero of Ishval and the Hawk's Eye on their side. We should have corpses piling up high.
Yeah.
Unless...
I guess if you're gonna get shot, the foot's probably the best place.
We have a high number of wounded, but not a single fatality. At last check, none of those injured were even critical.
These soldiers themselves probably aren't too bad. Unlike these
Send in Dimitri and Kim's squad.
cartoonishly
Dead
evil
body stacked in front of me.
generals.
Get it done now.
And I want those pictures of
Still
Spider-Man.
haven't apprehended Mustang. What the
I don't
hell is
know.
General Kremenman doing over there?
If there's one thing softer than Mustang, it's the men under your command. You might as well send in children.
Excuse me?
Don't try it. She's got a sword.
Central is never
She has a
endured
point.
full-scale assault, at least not by a large, organized enemy force. So then,
Unlike
your
where
men
she's
are
from.
lacking in proper experience, making their defense a joke, simply laughable.
Love the shade.
How about this? Why don't you let me step in and take command of a battalion?
Oh, that's what she's getting at. Very smart.
I'm aware of your troops' undying loyalty to you as their commander.
You pan the camera up a little bit.
It helps to ensure that the soldiers of Briggs won't take it upon themselves to stage a coup d'etat.
You don't understand a single thing about the resolve of my troops.
Yeah, I feel like they'd do it anyway.
Your plan is useless. The only law the men of Briggs know is
They don't
to
need
bind
her
me
to be there.
fist. They know to abandon me if confronted with a crisis. Even if you were to murder me in cold blood, my troops would simply write me off for being too weak. They don't need me. Those men can act as their own force.
I don't think they would actually
The
do
strength
that,
of the Briggs army.
but I do think they
Don't
can.
even begin to assume that you know the soldiers I've trained.
Yeah, I mean, they're self-sufficient at the least. I know I've said this a lot, and I've talked quite a bit about this, especially relating to General Raven, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I find it almost laughable how bad the Central Command is. I understand it's probably beneficial to Father and Bradley's plan to have incompetent lackeys following them around so much, but at the same point, how much incompetence can you have following you? You know, I get that they're easy to boss around and they're easy to manipulate and control, but how much incompetence can they have to the point where they stop being useful even as pawns and they just start being a hindrance? And I've also got to say, no hate to the show because I love the series, but it almost seems like they're cartoonishly evil in a lot of ways. They don't have like the level of nuance and like thought that goes into their writing as much as like basically every other character in the show, including the really minor side characters, which is something I've talked about a lot. Fullmetal does an incredibly good job at making every little character really important, but some of these Central Command guys are just so not that. Not that I really need them to be that drawn out or explored as characters, but I feel like it would be maybe a little bit better if they weren't so black and white to like the whole completely evil villain type deal, especially the handsome Squidward dude. He's basically General Raven that just looks a little bit different. But I guess to give a little bit of credit to these commanding officers' characters, at the very least, they provide a really good contrast to some of the other characters. You know, we have people like Roy and crew, and then Grumman. they were also informed of the plan, but Grumman was shipped off along with Roy's crew was shipped off. Roy was kept in Central, but only so they could keep an eye on him. So it kind of does show that like the better people, the more intelligent people, it seems, are, we see where they fall in the decisions. They see that they just don't fall in line and they're able to think for themselves. And it also provides a really good contrast to Olivier and her men, and how a completely different, I guess, regiment of the military is so much better, and it's purely dictated by leadership, which the Central Command clearly does not have. And Olivier very rightfully just took that scene right there to point that out especially.
Colonel Mustang is engaged in combat in the industrial district. The enemy is focused on his activities.
Right, so what are they gonna do? Oh, this is the real military squad, and somebody in flip-flops
Kiss this seller goodbye.
with the red eyes.
Throats out of any spineless fool that tries to get in our way.
Who is that? Is that Izumi? Wait, did Izumi join them?
I wonder if your dolls are as strong as my men. What do you think?
Oh, is the pseudo army, the fake doll army, gonna fight them? I don't think it would be Miles. I'm trying to think of who else the red eyes would be. I don't think it would be Miles. Well, I mean, we might be about to find out.
But how? That's impossible.
She can probably fight now that Hohenheim rearranged her insides. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Okay, well that guy, we have some casualties now.
Listen, guys. If it comes down to it, just leave me behind.
Roger that.
Oh,
You could at least pretend
Yeah.
like you're willing to die by my side.
I'm fighting to live, not die.
And I'd rather die by my wife's side.
Yeah,
respectable.
figures.
I really want like the Dr. Stone detailed analysis of how his alchemy works. How he can direct it like that.
Round up all of the men that we have left.
An ice cream truck? What is that?
Yoo-hoo, Riza! It's about time, Rebecca. I know,
Rebecca.
sorry, but I think you'll
Been a
find it's
while.
worth the wait. I've got all sorts of goodies.
Awesome.
The American ice cream truck. Finally here. I grew up with these things.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
It's good to see you, Colonel. It's been a long time, huh?
Is that
Second Lieutenant Maria Ross, returning to active duty without permission, sir.
Yes! I was so worried that we were never gonna see her again after she went to Xing. That's awesome. I'm so glad she's back.
Well, we do have the flame
She's really
alchemist
cool.
backing us up, so I really doubt they wanna
She'll
take
rejoin
it.
Denny.
Oh, jeez.
That makes me really
I went all the
happy.
way to
That's
Central
so
to find
wholesome.
a good man, but you're all just a bunch of sissies.
Also, I like her. Honestly. Dibs on Rebecca.
They're Shingy's tear gas bombs with extra pepper spray.
So you got those things in shape?
Yeah,
Is that where all
nice.
of this stuff is from?
I didn't know you were involved in this. Not that I'm complaining. But I do have to ask, where did you procure all these weapons? And who did you go through to get them?
You asked who? I'll let him tell you.
I don't know. Someone in Xing, right? Was it who? I don't know. I don't know who else it could be.
Is it some Shingy's official?
That's I don't know.
This is Colonel Roy Mustang speaking. I'm honored to have your support.
Man, whose ass do you think you're kissing? I'd prefer it if we kept things casual, Colonel.
Wait, what?
Over 80 years in business, we offer everything you could possibly need.
This is like his
Underwear to
dad?
arms, and we're just a phone call away.
No,
This
it's
is
him.
Havoc's, your neighborhood general store.
Sheen Havoc?
Oh, wait, what did you? I guess he just grew out some facial hair.
Who do I send the bill
Looks
to?
good.
The office of the Fuhrer.
How did he get?
Start a tab.
How did he get Shingy's weaponry? That's dude. Hell yeah! Everyone is here. That's awesome.
There's smoke rising from within the city.
I don't understand how he got
We
that
hear a
stuff, but
siren as well.
I'm glad to see he's being able to play his part.
I do have a countermeasure for his transmutation circle, but I'd rather prevent him from activating it in the first place.
Yeah, that would be
He
ideal.
might have gotten too big for his old one, but he's still inside a flask. And if we destroy his container, We might be able to kill him. And not only that, we might be able to free all the souls that he has trapped inside of him.
Still inside of a container.
How did we find the bastard then?
We can use the same tunnel that May and I discovered. It's guarded by a pack of vicious chimeras.
Thoughts?
Yoki, I think you should stay behind as well. Fight with me.
Yoki will come in clutch. Bring him with. He's going to be really important somehow. Alright, before we get into what's about to happen next, I want to talk a little bit before I forget about Father. Everything I'm about to talk about might just be like purely incoherent rambling, because it very well might be. I don't have all the thoughts fully formulated in my head, but I don't know when I'm going to get the chance to talk about this again. I mean, I'll get the chance to talk about this later whenever Father comes a little bit more into the picture, but I'm assuming so much else is going to be happening at that point that I'm just going to get this out of the way now, or at least catch you guys up to where I am when I think about Father. I guess the main thing I want to talk about, something that I haven't really thought about in a good like 20 episodes, is the fact that Father has that ability to shut off alchemy. And I didn't really know what to make of that at first, and I still don't completely know what to make of that, but we have gotten a lot more details about how alchemy works, and we've just gotten so much more about who Father is and what Father is and all of that. And with what he just said, with what Hohenheim just said about Father still being in a flask, it's a bigger flask, obviously, than he used to have, but he's still in a flask. It makes me wonder, first off, here's a first working idea, if his ability to disable alchemy is like within the flask, like the range of the flask. I don't know if Central is the flask, and that's why Central is formulated in the way it is. I don't know if Amestris itself is the flask, if he can turn off alchemy only from within Amestris. And another thing about all of this is that we have Scar's brother's research notes, and we learned about like the anti-transmutation circle deal, although I gotta admit, I still don't really fully understand that. I don't know if they haven't given us enough yet, or if I just didn't get it fully the first time, but my assumption about how that works is that it will act as a countermeasure to that ability for Father to turn off alchemy. Maybe it'll prevent that from being able to happen, because if they all just run into Father right now, like, I don't really think anything has necessarily changed from the last time. Basically, all the firepower is from alchemy, and no other way will you be able to kill Father without destroying the flask. Although, you know, again, if the flask is Central, or the flask is Amestris, or whatever the flask may be, it doesn't seem to be like a physical thing that you can destroy. So I don't really know about how they're going to go about fighting Father. But I have to assume that anti-transmutation circle, or something that they have, maybe Hohenheim himself will be able to use his alchemy at an equal strength to Father because of how the souls were split up. There has to be a way to disable the anti-alchemy mode that Father has. Either that, or they just have learned something that makes them not applicable to it. Like, unless they all fight using Shingi's alchemy, but then again, that would be like really far-fetched for them to even, for one, know how to fight with it, or two, being able to fight with it so efficiently that they can defeat Father, because, you know, even Scar and Mei Cheng weren't able to do that. Scar almost was killed by Father. Like I said, that's probably a lot of incoherent rambling. Maybe I'm onto something, maybe I'm completely off entirely, but it's just like, there's just so much information about the circles and the way that the alchemy systems work with the dragon's chi and the seismic energy and all of that stuff, and how they were influenced differently. There's just so much going on. It's so complicated that I'm trying to wrap my head all around it and tie it all together somehow in a way that makes sense for the upcoming battle, because right now, as it stands, like I said, I don't exactly know how they're going to beat Father. They might be able to destroy the entire military, they might be able to destroy the homunculus themselves, but how are you going to fight Father? It's the big question right now. Let's catch up with our boy. What have they been talking about? Sharing secrets?
What is it, brother?
We're heading out now, and we're gonna kick that bearded bastard's ass.
Just be careful.
How though?
Right.
I believe somebody pointed out to me that Al doesn't need the helmet to be able to see. I don't really know how that works, but
Father's about to reveal the secret of immortality, and we don't want to be late for that. And we won't be.
please don't be tricked by Envy. Anything that Envy says. Mei Cheng is plenty capable, but I worry about her a little bit. I'm trying to think if there's anybody, like, of all the characters that we know that
right now.
aren't
You
in
stripped me
this
of my
in some
command
way.
of the Briggs soldiers, remember? This father guy must have told you his plans. All that he intends to sacrifice and what he gets from it.
Sure, of course he told me. The select few of us that he's chosen will ascend to even greater heights, and the nation of Amestris will change the world. All of the sacrifices made are an unavoidable part of it. Why don't you understand that?
Cartoonishly evil.
You bastards are beyond hopeless.
What?
Oh, I thought she was going for the head. Damn. Caught it midair.
You scums sit back and safely watch the battlefield as if it were some kind of spectator sport.
Right.
You don't know anything about sacrifice, and yet you're the first to talk about its necessity.
It's also why she's such a good leader, because she has combat experience, unlike these guys.
I'm still not as merciful as our celebrated hero of Ishval.
No, wait!
Pop. Damn. Damn.
What the?
It's kind of sad to see her do that. I mean, they deserve it, but still. I feel like she doesn't want to shoot these dudes. They're just... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about all these people that are just like complacently taking place in all this. The lackeys lower down may not know Father's plan entirely. Oh, here we go. We got
Hey, Major!
Alex.
What are you doing?
He may not exactly know what's up.
Isn't this supposed to be your day off?
Yeah, he's clueless.
Colonel Mustang and his former subordinates have chosen the path of dissidence. They're attempting to flee with the Fuhrer's wife as their hostage.
What?
That's not what's going on. Put it together, man.
First he murdered Lieutenant Ross, and now he's kidnapped the Fuhrer's wife? The man has got to be pure evil!
Okay, no, he does know. Gotcha, he's just feigning ignorance. Poor Denny.
Major, I have just received word that General Armstrong shot and killed General Gardner at Central Command.
She killed him?
What you gonna do?
Things are happening quicker than I expected them to.
His name isn't Who, right? It's something else similar. I don't remember.
It feels like the presence has somehow tripled in size since yesterday.
How so? Oh, right, I also didn't talk about the fact that he's got all these, like, tubes and stuff hooked up to him. I don't really know what that's all about either. Maybe we're about to find out. It's very ominous. I don't really know what he's doing or what those are for. Uh-oh. Oh, is he Morse code? We've seen this shot throughout the series. I recently rewatched episode 1 and there's a bunch of stuff with Father like flashing in. I never noticed. Or obviously I wouldn't have known back then.
Wait, there's another way we can get in. The third laboratory. That's how Al and the Colonel snuck underground when they fought Lust.
Right. Probably gonna be pretty heavily guarded. But we've got a whole squad. We can take that out.
My name's Edward Elric. I'm a state alchemist.
Wait, what was that? You said you're a state alchemist?
I need you to help
Do they not know who he is?
Zara's trying to kill me.
That guy's on the wanted list. Hands up!
Don't they know that Ed's a, like a fugitive? Is that's not widely known by now? He's been on the run for like months, hasn't he? That seemed a bit unnecessary.
Found it.
Oh. We'll give it away. I want to see the army. I don't know where the army was being stored, just like within Central, I guess. The dolls are fake people. You know what I mean?
Take a team this way, and then you and Scar can lead a team the other way.
What? Why do I have to go with him?
It's best to divide the groups based on their skill in alchemy. Now remember, you told me that he was somehow able to turn off your alchemy. Scar
Right.
was still capable of using his, but you were rendered helpless.
Does Hohenheim not know what's up with that?
Means these two are together.
I guess not.
So who are you taking?
My alchemy is a little unique, so I'll be fine on my own. On second thought,
Yeah, can he turn off Hohenheim's?
it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a bodyguard, so I might as well take the young lady with me.
Are you sure that you're gonna be okay with just the two of you?
Of course, I prefer it this way. I'd rather keep the young ladies company for myself than share with a lot of you.
Stop.
Pervy old man.
Let's go. I don't think that's what that is, but it's being a little bit weird. He probably has a reason, like some deeper reason for bringing her with him.
So, you're getting desperate to search for the Xingyi's prince, aren't you?
That's what this is about. Figured there was something to it.
Go find him.
But
You don't need to worry about us. You care deeply about him, don't you?
Yeah, Greed was heading here, like, during the night, right? So he's probably within Central somewhere. Who knows where.
Be careful.
There's so many moving pieces that it's so hard to keep track, but that was cool of him. We know a lot more about Hohenheim than we once did, but in a lot of ways, there's still some unanswered questions about him, especially in his relation to Father. Can Father turn off Hohenheim's alchemy? It wouldn't. It'd be kind of underwhelming, but possible.
Handle those Briggs mountain monkeys.
Please, sir, don't! We still haven't finished the soul bonding tests!
Shut up! When else are we gonna use them?
What could go wrong?
Go, now! Teach those treacherous rebels a lesson!
If I know horror movie tropes, these guys are about to come off the wall and, like, rip this dude apart. Ew. I mean, I feel that. Getting woken up by an alarm when it goes off in the morning. Alright. Alright, well, that was a lot. There was a lot to that. I mean, it was, in a way, it was still a lot of setup for, like, things to come, but I feel like I can't keep saying that about these episodes because it's all kind of a setup to the final battle, in a way. I mean, it's started. It's in its early stages of everything going down. We still haven't seen Greed yet, so I'm wondering, I mean, I haven't really given it enough time this episode to think about where he might be at. Where would Greed be at? I don't really know. I can't really come up with anything. Maybe Greed went out and got Dominic and Panina in order to bring them into the final battle somehow as well. Maybe he went to go get Granny. Granny's gonna come back and tag team with Hohenheim in order to be the strongest duo in order to beat Father. This arc is only just starting, but there was so much buildup, there was so much hype for all of this, and even though not a ton outright happened in this episode, I think this is like one of the episodes I've enjoyed the most in recent memory. Like maybe since like the early 40 episodes, I really enjoyed this one because it had a good amount of action, a good amount of like actual like moving plot. It just feels like now is finally the time we're gonna see a lot of direct action payoff. A lot for our characters, a lot for the plot. It just feels so good. And then we have wholesome moments like reuniting with Maria Ross. It's just really good. I really enjoyed this episode a lot. Thank you all so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.